Yo, 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 what is going on, YouTube? We are back with another freaking banger, and make sure you stay all the way to the end because this one's going to be short, quick, concise, and I'm going to get right to the point. But what I want to talk to you guys about in this video is what the real life truth looks like behind the scenes of an entrepreneur, because most business owners are going to tell you all the flashy things. They're going to tell you how they made money on the internet, how they had a bunch of profit margins, how they started to see success in their career, and it carried over in all other areas of their life. Their relationships improves, yada yada yada, right? But what they're not going to tell you is that you actually have so much less time than you think you do. And like, this is why I just figured, like, okay, like, let me just make a video on this because I know you guys relate. Now, I've talked about the cold hard truths and some of the downfalls of business. With all the business downfalls, there's always those upsides, and the upsides always outweigh the downfalls, right? And I just found myself, especially as I've scaled my business up, more and more stressing over not having enough time in my day. Literally, from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, every activity I take is correlated to my business. And if it's not, it's doing something to allow me to recoup and re energize so that when I get back into work, I'm productive. So whether that's working out, going on a walk, or something different, like maybe reading a book, maybe it's not directly correlated, but it's going to allow me to self-improve and better myself so that I can actually do the best productive work. And now, when I say this, like before I go into the quick tangent I'm going to go on, I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing this from a way of like working a job. Like when I worked a job in the past, it was like I dreaded doing the tasks that I had to do to make sure I didn't lose my job, right? But what the difference as an entrepreneur is, like, I actually look forward to these things. I look forward to the books I'm reading. So, like, for example, I'm reading this book right now, talked about it in my last video, called Blue Ocean Strategy. And, the more information you have faster, the easier and more efficient you become. And I noticed that as a fitness coach, with strategy and efficiency, which is what I teach my clients in the gym, is what they need, especially as they get busy, they don't have as much time. It's the exact same thing with my career. Like, the more information and knowledge I have, the better, right? So I, at this point in my career, would much rather pay a mentor, invest into a mentorship program, or pay for a service that's just automated and taken care of for me than have to go do the thing with my own time, right? Like, for example, as I'm recording this video, I just used Instacart to order all my groceries because in the past I would drive to the grocery store, I would go pick out all the stuff, and it's like next thing you know, I waste an hour, 2 hours, and I really don't have as much time in my day to get everything that I want to get done. Right. And so, just a little inside look at what today looks like. I had a client call, and then right after that, I had another client call. And then right after that, that went a little bit longer because he needed some assistance with things. After that, I literally had like 40 minutes. I made my breakfast and I took a shower. And then after that, guess what happened? I had another group call. Something in my throat. Sorry about that, guys. And then, so like after my group call, I literally had 40 minutes free, which I used to order my Instacart food, which was like grocery shopping, but just from the comfort of my house. And literally now what I'm doing is another project before my next group call that starts in like 25 minutes. And it's like, okay, what are the highest leverage tasks? And then once I finish all these things, it's like, okay, I have to go through the list of these never ending daunting tasks. And it feels like, I shouldn't say daunting. They're daunting, but things always change with a business. So it's keeps you on your toes and makes you excited. And for me, like, it's not this thing where I dread doing these things. I literally look forward to it, but it's like I only have so much time in my day. So I have to figure out what are the most, you know, beneficial tasks, right? What are they going to thread the needle the most in my business? Sometimes that's the back end, which is really just the client programming, the fulfillment, messaging my clients, making sure they have everything they need, updating their nutrition programs, adjusting their caloric intake, their protein, carbs, fats, etc. Sometimes, you know, it's more top, right? So like top of funnel is basically like marketing stuff and like posting content and videos and vlogging and like things like this. Other times, and I honestly don't even like to put this in marketing category. I like to put this as like my free time space because really I love creating YouTube videos. And that's like the one thing I'll never give up is doing things I genuinely enjoy. Like I would never stop creating YouTube videos if I had other more important things. So like back me on that. If you see me ever go MIA for a long period of time without being on YouTube, comment and be like, "Where's this dude at?" Because I will not let that happen. Um, I look forward to creating these YouTube videos, and this is a good way to get my creative juices out there and just get things flowing and just talk off the top of my head. But like when when I'm done with these, it's like, okay, well, I have to put out more content. I have to work on making sure all my clients have what they need, making sure that all the calls on my calendar are scheduled, confirmed. They get follow-up messages, they get, reminders, all of these things. And so I just invested into like another program. Really, it's a service, but it's like for my emails, because I just don't have as much time in the day as I like to think. And I notice more and more that as I put my money into things, it brings me back more time, and it allows my business to grow without me physically putting my own time in. I'm just paying for service, and they're taking care of everything, and they're experts at what they do. So for example, it's an email marketing. So like I like to send emails out to my clients just to give them value, to talk about the mindset, the training, the nutrition, and really like just get things off the top, kind of like I do in these videos. But I always have a difficult time finding, or making the time, I should say, to put it all together in writing. And then once I have it in writing, doing all the technological things on the back end to make sure they actually get delivered to all of my clients and all the people on my email list. So I just invested into that because it's like, that's going to give me my time back. And I'm just realizing more and more that I literally have so little time for like anything. And I'm so glad that I'm passionate about what I do, because I literally wake up every day and I can't wait to crush the day. But if you're starting a business and you're not passionate about it, no wonder you're never going to be successful. Like, I mean that in the nicest way possible, because like truly, like one of my mentors says that he said this once, and he said it over and over and over, and it's really stuck with me. He says the most high, like the highest form of respect is being direct with somebody and telling them the truth, right? Like, why would you lie and fabricate and put a cherry on top and cover these things up? Because really you're holding information and gatekeeping from that person, right? So like you're kind of disrespecting them. You are disrespecting them if you think of it like that. So when he said that, things started to shift for me, and that's why I like to just give the truth on here. Like, um, for me, like as much as I love doing what I do, in the past I used to work businesses and try different business ventures that I wasn't passionate about, that I was just trying to make money from, and it never worked out. It literally never worked out. I hated it. I was miserable, and I made very little or no money. And the reason is because A, I wasn't good at it. So I wasn't willing to put a lot of time and practice into it because it was painful. It sucked. And B, I didn't think long term. But with fitness, I'm so passionate about fitness and with business and entrepreneurship. So like I'm able to dive into this all day long and literally not get bored of it. And once in a while, it's good to step away, take some time away for sure. But I don't think that you can ever have your cup go empty or feel empty if you're actually doing things you enjoy doing. And I was on a client call with client. His name's Lee. If he's watching this video, Lee, you're the man. I don't know if he's going to see this, but if he does, had to shout you out. He asked me a question about like feeling some sense of fulfillment, and what I talked to him about was, you know, I truly don't think like people get burnout and lose their fulfillment unless they're doing something they don't like doing. And we were just conversating about it, and I was talking about Michael Jordan. I'm sure you guys have known about him and have heard. If you don't know who Michael Jordan is, you might be living under a rock, or you might just not be in that world and follow sports, which is like totally fair. But I think a lot of you guys probably know who he is, or at least his sneakers. Michael Jordan, right? How the heck was this guy going? This is what I said doing this example I gave. How the heck was he going to the gym 2 or 3 times a day for 3 to 5 hours each time, and working out? When I say gym, I mean like the basketball court. How was he going and playing basketball? Plus he was in the gym lifting. Plus he was doing all the things he needed to do, and he was running, he was training. Like, how was he doing all this and not getting burned out? It's because he had fuel to the fire. He loved what he did. He literally lived every second. He woke up and he didn't want to do it anymore. And if you listen to the interviews on Michael Jordan and like what made him kind of lose his fire and go into playing baseball, if you know the whole story, he went and played for the White Sox, and worked his way up because he wanted to make like his father proud, yada yada yada. I think his father like was like shot or something, or like was murdered, and basically he went to play baseball to make his father proud and kind of live up that milestone, right? um and I remember hearing this interview where Michael Jordan said like the reason that he stopped trying so much was he just like lost fulfillment in the process. And I think that the reason he lost fulfillment was he didn't enjoy it anymore. And like for whatever reason that is, I don't know. But that's the reason that like Michael Jordan literally went to baseball and then came back and then they won again, and then he kind of like fell off again. And then he eventually went to the Wizards, retired, and then like things started to slow down, and then he retired. Like, well, why is it? It's like, well, he lost his fulfillment, and he even said this in some interviews. Like, you can find it on YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. Um, but he basically talked about how like he just didn't find it anymore. Like he didn't feel it anymore. So like, why are you going to work for something that you don't like doing? But in the prime time, when he was succeeding, when he was literally the greatest player of all time, in my eyes, still the greatest player that's ever existed, when it comes to basketball, and probably the greatest athlete of all time, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a basketball fan. I played growing up, but literally, like MJ was a GOAT. If you're a LeBron fan, you can just kindly unsubscribe, get off my channel. You don't have to actually do all that. Like LeBron's cool, he's good. But yeah, where I'm going with that is like the reason that I use that example on my client call is like Michael Jordan never lost that fulfillment when he was so good and he was so passionate about it because he literally loved the work. He found fulfillment in the process. And when you can do the same thing, you're going to succeed at any avenue of your life. Like for me, the reason I'm so passionate about business is because it literally is like building something. It's like you're working towards getting better and you're feeling yourself get better. You're seeing yourself get better. You're noticing you're getting better. People are complimenting you. People are telling you how much you're changing their life. Like my clients are telling me how much my business is improving their life, meaning like they're getting into such good shape that people are complimenting them. Their confidence is going up. They're losing weight. They're gaining muscle. Their career is improving. They're making more money at work. Like all these things, all of these tangible things that carry over. And for me, that makes me feel so good because I know it makes me feel that, okay, what I'm doing is actually working. And even if it wasn't, I would still be trying my best to get my clients the best results possible. And I literally find myself each and every day stressing over not getting my clients the best results because I know that I'm so passionate about fitness that sometimes I feel like I almost want these things more than they want them for themselves because I know what it's like to actually achieve these things and how good of a feeling it is when you achieve your ideal physique and you achieve your ideal life. And when I worked as a personal trainer in person, I remember I sat down with my manager once because I had these clients that were kind of just assigned to me. I didn't work with them. I didn't like reach out to them really. It was more so they were just like given to me. I was like, okay, I'll work with them. And I never want to turn somebody away, but these people weren't like, it was these two guys. They were like good friends. They weren't really like super motivated to like work out. They just wanted the end result. They weren't like, I get it, right? Like that's how it is with a lot of things. But I just remember them being like saying some comments during the sessions that I was pushing them too hard. I was pushing them too much past what they were capable of. And I was like, dude, let's go. Like you have more in the tank. And my manager, I just mentioned that to her. Like, I think like maybe I need to step back, but like I want to help get them the best results. My manager asked me at the time, she was like, do you think that you want the results for them more than they want it for themselves? And I was like, yes, bro. Like that's literally why I'm so passionate about what I do, and I want to start my own fitness business because like I literally want people to get in the best shape possible, have the confidence, have the energy levels, have the physique, have these things because I know what it's like to not have these things, bro. To being scrawny and not having muscle on my frame, and then finally putting it on and being like, yo, this is actually the shit, bro. Excuse my language, right? And not because it's this tangible thing and now I have the thing that looks good. It was never that. That's always fleeting. For me, it was when I started to actually see progress and see what was truly capable of myself when I put in the work, that was the fulfilling feeling because I always doubted myself. I always didn't believe in myself. But when I did start to tap into that, everything unlocked. And so I used that MJ story, that analogy or that example on my client call, and it shed some light on the subject. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because, like, if you don't find fulfillment in the journey, if you don't actually enjoy what you like doing, then every day is going to suck. But I've noticed more and more recently that it's actually like annoying how little time I have left. And I'm like, dude, what the heck, bro? I literally like am getting frustrated. Like, I wish I had more time in my day to do more work on the business and to do more work with my physique and to do more of these things. And I know most of you guys probably relate to this. You probably wish you had more time. But the reason I'm so big on this is I used to be in a super down headspace for a long time when I wasn't passionate about what I was doing, when I was working a regular job, when I was working at a bank, and then I transitioned to a fitness job at a gym, but I was still kind of like not super fulfilled there. I was so in this down space, this negative headspace where I remember like looking forward to just a weekend and wanting the day to be over and like all these things. And now it's such a good feeling because it's like I literally love what I do so much, and I could talk all day long about fitness, about entrepreneurship, about business, and I literally love helping people. And the only reason I'm so passionate about all this, and the reason I'm so energetic and riled up about all these things, although I'm not always like this, of course I'm a person that has emotions like the rest of us, but the reason that 99% of my days are I'm so fired up about is because I literally love what I do. I love helping people with their fitness, with their business, with their mindset, with their faith, with all of these things. And I noticed that like sometimes I work so hard that people tell me like, yo, you need to take a break, bro. You're going to burn out. And each and every time in my life that I felt quote unquote burnout was really a time where I started to lose fulfillment. I was doing it for the end reward. I was focusing on the end destination rather than the person I was becoming, the process itself. And each and every time that I shifted back into, let me just have fun with this again. Let me just do the things I like to do again. life got so much better. I started to improve. I started to do way more than necessary. I feel like I didn't have enough time in the day to do everything I wanted to do, which was like a frustrating but good feeling, because it's like, okay, I'm clearly doing way more than I was in the past. And I'm pushing myself, I'm expanding myself rather than contracting. And each and every time that I've done that, life has improved. And I think that if you can just take away from this video, whoever's watching this, whether you're a business owner, whether you're not a business owner, you work a regular job, whether you're just trying to get into the best shape of your life, if you put your mind to accomplishing something, it's great. And you're going to accomplish it, most likely. It's not guaranteed, but you most likely will accomplish this thing if you put your mind to it. But what I've noticed is, A, you need to have passion and fire for that thing. And the best way to find that thing is to do things that you like, and also look towards pleasure as opposed to pain. See, we have this line. This is the last thing I'm going to end the video on. I told you I'm not going to go on too much of a tangent, but I said 5 minutes. It's been 15. Sorry, guys. I just can't stop yapping, apparently. But so we have this line, right? This arrow goes, it's never ending. It goes both ways. One side is pleasure, one side is pain. You've probably heard this before, but basically, if you're not running towards pleasure, you're running away from pain. And every action, every decision we make in life is either running away from pain or towards pleasure. But if you can start to look at things as, okay, how can I look for the pleasure? It's going to get so much easier to stick with and accomplish your goals. Because every single time in my life that I've run away from the hard things, when I think about the negative things, the downfalls, like, oh, I have to do this or this is going to happen, it's always made me stress out, get in my own head and feel frustrated and annoyed, and probably do less quality work. Like, I don't know about everything, but that's really the way I think about it. But each and every time in my life that I've chased pleasure and like becoming the best possible version of myself, becoming jacked, becoming healthier, doing these things because of the benefit it gives me, as opposed to running away from the downfalls, it's always made me look forward to these things. And naturally, as a byproduct of me looking forward to it, I do it way more and I take way more action. So I hope you guys can resonate with that video. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to see you in the next banger. YouTube, again, you can just hit the subscribe button if you want to. It's J Stroud Fit, as you can see with your two own eyes. But on Instagram, it's also J Stroud Fit, just in case there was any confusion there. And what I'm going to do for you guys is, just to make sure that I can help others, I'm going to drop my link below. I do have two different things I help people with: fitness and business. If you guys don't know and you haven't been following me for months, then I do help people with fitness. But as of recently, I've also started to see a lot of success with my own business. So I've been helping people, mentoring them and helping them get their business up off the ground. And you can check out like my video on how I hit 10K my first month with my coaching business. You can watch the videos about some of the mindset trainings, the fitness, the nutrition, the faith stuff. But like, most importantly, just consume some of my content if you want to become a better version of yourself, because literally these are things that changed my life when I started consuming them in this light. And what I'm going to do is just drop the link below. So this link underneath will basically be you booking in a call with me to see if you are ready to achieve your ideal physique. This is like the fitness link. And underneath that one, I'll put another link for the business mentoring one. Like, I don't know who's interested. I've had a few of you guys book in so far this past week since I dropped it. But basically, one link is going to talk to you about, okay, like, let's talk about your business goals and like how we can get you to the next point in your life. And I'll work with you one-on-one. The other one is my fitness offer, which is my main program, which is where I get my clients really good results, achieving their ideal physique, getting them jacked. So I'll just drop both links down below, and I'll title which one's which. So if you want to hear more, it's a free strategy call for both. So this is just me hearing about where you're at, where you're looking to go. If I feel I can help, which literally, bro, I can help. I don't know about your entire situation, but most likely I can help because I've done these things with myself and with countless others. And so just click the link below, either or if you're feeling ballsy, bro, both. I don't know, dude. But I'll see you guys in the next video. And make sure you check me out on Instagram at JStroudFit so that I can help you achieve not just your ideal physique, but your ideal life. And make sure that you thread the needle by doing the most important tasks. In order to do the most important tasks, figure out what's important to you, find passion, find fulfillment. Find fulfillment in the process. And yeah, leave me a comment if this was valuable.